Welcome to Wine Library TV. I am your host, Gary Vaynerchuk. And this, my friends, is the Thunder Show, aka the internet's most passionate wine program. And today I tackle the biggest question in the world, not only the wine world: what wine goes with a hot dog? And so I'm excited about pairing these three wines. Really, it was an excuse to try this wine. 95 points, David Shelnick, who's writing for Robert Parker's Wine Advocate. That is a gigantic score for him. But if you're like me, yummy. If you're like me, you love mustard. So I'm going to tackle the question, the age-old question: what wine goes with a hot dog with mustard? So that is today's show. Big shout out to 7-Eleven. Good for you guys. Might show them that 7-Eleven's across the street, just so everybody knows that there was no, like, big deal or anything. It was just that, you know, 7-Eleven's across the street. Very much. Alright, so, got the hot dog, got the glass, we got the wines. Let's see which one of these three wines best pairs with a hot dog. Let's get into, really at the end of the day, an excuse to try three big-time wines: Chardonnay, a Malbec, and this blend of Syrah, mainly, with a little bit of Carignan and Mourvedre. So the first wine, Beringer. Big name, a lot of you will be able to find this wine. 2008 Private Reserve Chardonnay, 26 American dollars, 94 points, Robert Parker, which is a gigantic score for this Reserve Chardonnay. Sorry, hacksaw. Let's give this a little bit of a sniffy sniff. And appropriately, hacksaw's here because there's a little oakiness, wood, you know, usually has a 2x4. Nice fruit though, little green apple coming through, but it's very creamy. You can taste the vanilla coming through. Little butterscotch. Let's give it a whirl straight first. Some serious acidity on the back end. Little of the alcohol coming through, not too bad. That butterness continues to flow. Almost like taking apples and mixing them up with buttered popcorn that you like got distracted. What's that, honey? Oh no, we're going to, oh crap, I put too much butter in my popcorn and I put some apples in there. Then you taste this. That's what this wine tastes like. Good crispness, but not enough acid to go over top the gloopy kind of oaky fruit, which is okay. Not the worst thing in the world. There's some guava, a lot of butterscotch, and some tropical fruit. Not the oakiest bomb from Beringer's Private Reserve that I've ever had, and it stays at a very fair price, $26. A decade ago, this wine was about this price point. So where we've seen huge influx in other wines, this has stayed fairly fair in its pricing, so that's good to see. I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna speed taste through and then re-taste through and taste it. This way we can have at least some scores without the actual pairing of what wine goes with hot dog. Let's go into Luigi Bosco, 2007 Malbec Reserva, aged for 12 months in oak casks, 90 points, Wine Spectator, 15 American dollars. Now, you guys are all obsessed with Malbec. Malbec is the legit stuff right now. It is definitely the kind of, sorry about that, wasn't sure if I rinsed, is kind of like the darling grape. Very much reminds me of where Pinot Noir was after Sideways. This has been more organic than Hollywood pounding down our throats that we love Pinot. Little snippy sniff. Smell this, Mott. So fruity. Heavily jammed. Like a blackberry jam fruit coming across. Smell the fruit? Very dark, right?
It smells nice, though.
You like it, right? It is a pleasant smell. I get a little pepper and a little bit of coffee. A little violet action as well. So some floral, earthy pepper kind of thing going on, but still dominated by berries. So it's not funky. This is not sheep's butt or cow manure. Not burgundy. This is definitely fruit driven. Let's give it a whirl. It's from Mendoza, so you're getting that chocolate, dark chocolate flavor coming through. Not bad. Really well made. Good structure. little bit of like a black tea leaf kind of component. So if you're a black tea drinker, you'll recognize some of the flavors. Cranberry mixed in with blackberry, so dark fruits, little red fruit as well. The floral component kind of disappears, and the mid palate's kind of okay. I don't know what that was. It's just me dancing for you. So it's solid. It's not incredible, but it's definitely serviceable and very drinkable, and definitely a wine that I think could do well pairing with a hot dog. Hot dog. It's a little inside joke. Let's see who picks up on that. All right, let's rinse. Let's go into the Mas Julien 2006 Côte de Languedoc Red. This wine rolls in at $39, 95 points David Chalnek, Syrah, Carignan, and Mourvedre with a touch of Grenache, brought in by Neil Rosenthal. It was a great importer of very unique wines. Languedoc is a vastly underrated part of France. Everybody talks about Bordeaux and Burgundy and the Rhone Valley, Alsace, Loire Valley. But Languedoc is a place, Provence, that are just kind of being missed and overlooked. Now, this has a really spicy, kind of sour cherry nose. I like the nose a lot, actually. Kind of beefy. Smells a little like food. Musty and kind of, the minerality's kind of coming through. Let's give it a whirl. Very classic, not a lot of ton of fruit up top, good tannin structure with the beautiful, beautiful blueberry flavors annihilating my palate in its initial attack. So really interesting wine, rustic, and has some real structure to it. Some big guns, well made. Nice wine, 06, a little young, believe it or not. And now let's kind of go through what we came here to do. Let's rinse a little more. I'll get more into the wines individually as we do this final kind of pairing off. And here we go, 7-Eleven hot dog. I love mustard, Mop. How do you eat your hot dog?
We've come up before and generated controversy.
I remember, we have to ask it again. Straight ketchup.
Ketchup.
No sauerkraut.
No.
No relish.
Nope.
Chili.
Chili, I'll do chili.
You will?
Yeah. No ketchup, just the chili.
So, just chili, no ketchup on top. Onions?
Kind of like a plain kind of food guy. Not like
You're like a plain Jane.
Yeah.
You should have said Joe. Okay. So, with this pairing, the wine... not bad. The hot dog overpowers the Chardonnay a little bit, but the oakiness goes quite well with the bread, in my opinion, of the hot dog. So, not a horrible kind of pairing. I think all in all, the Beringer Chardonnay, from tasting it the first time with the pairing now, colliding that all in together, it's a solid Chardonnay. A little oaky for me, just a hair, but not overdone as it's been in the past. So I give Beringer's major kudos for bringing more balance to this wine than I've seen from their private reserve program through the years. It's a wine that can last 5 to 7 years, so don't underestimate white wine's potential to age. And it's a wine that I think, shows some promise. I'm going to score it 90 points. I like it. And if you like oak and butter, you'll probably like it even more than I do. And I think 90 points is for where my palate is with this style of Chardonnay. I at least hope people understand that I'm pretty fond of it in some ways. All right, let's move on. Luigi Bosco, Malbec. A little sniffy sniff. Prime the palate. It's a little bit of a better pairing than the last wine. I thought the last wine kind of got lost by the hot dog. This kind of accentuates it, in my opinion. Yeah. This is a nice pairing for the wine. I think the food is benefiting this wine as the fats from the food, from the hot dog, go on the palate. A little bit of that mustard, it kind of elevates the body of this wine. and hides the alcohol that I tasted by itself. And that's the impact of food. Really can take away some of those bitterness, tannins, the alcohol. Not bad. Not bad at all, actually. This is why Malbec is such a great kind of barbecue wine. The price point's attractive, 15 bones. You can bring it over to somebody's house, and it shows pretty well with the food. Good job by Luigi Bosco. I think it's an okay Malbec, all in all. All in, kind of wrapping it up. I'm going to get a little more mustard. Love mustard. I can eat mustard straight, not just mine. All in all, to me, it's an 88-point Malbec. You know, not blowing my face off, but definitely at 15 bones. I've been tasting a lot of bunk-ass Malbec lately. Let's call it BAM. Some bunk-ass Malbec lately. And so, in general, I've been very disappointed with the $10 to $15 Malbecs that are hitting the market. I think it's starting to get jumpy, the sharky. And so, this is a nice change of pace. Still not blowing me away, and I think there's a lot of wines out there at 15 bucks I'd rather drink. So, it is what it is. And now, finally, the Mas Julien, at the end of the day, should get absolute credit for this show. I really wanted to taste this wine. And I thought, how do I unsnob a $30 French wine? I know. A 7-Eleven hot dog. It's my brother-in-law's wedding this weekend. I should probably not be eating stuff like this. I want to fit into my tux. This wine dominates the food. It's even too big for the hot dog. And so it's literally like you're having two different things going on. They don't pair at all, actually. The wine is just too structured and is overwhelming this poor little hot dog. Look at this guy. Little guy. I mean, look at this. Had no shot. I mean, it gets this big, powerful Syrah Carignan-based wine from Provence. This is a very, very good wine, and makes me happy that we did this show to see what wine goes with Malbec. Excuse me, with hot dog. Malbec's going to probably ultimately win over the Chardonnay and over this Syrah. But this wine is spectacular. I'm going to score it 92 points. I love it. For 39 bones, would I recommend you buying it? It's right there. Probably no. You know, it's close. I mean, if you had a good month, you know, or a good year, yeah, definitely. But if you count your pennies and you want to find value, probably not. It's the most buyable wine of the bunch, though. I think you can get a lot better stuff at 15, and I definitely wouldn't probably splurge at 26 bucks for the Chardonnay either. But it's very well made, good dark fruit, very, very, very serious wine. And actually, as I sit here and talk to you, and this is what's interesting, right? If you really want to break down wine, you know, what wine are you going to drink? I don't know if you saw it, but my body language was like looking to grab this glass to sip on it a little more. And to me, that's the great indicator of where wine is. Do I want to drink it, or is it all about spinning it? Good wine. Interesting show. Malbec is the wine that you want to pair with your hot dog. Now, question of the day. We got to ask it. How do you like your hot dog? You, with a little bit of me and a lot of hacksaw Jim Duggan, we're changing the wine.